Hello everybody, Snowymatrix here. I just want to say this is not a sponsored video. This bag was bought with my own money. As you can see, the weather, I know I use the word atrocious a lot, but this time it really has been atrocious. Non-stop rain, about 2 days now. Poor little Lunar Solo, it's doing its best. Regretting, just to save a couple of 100 grams, I'm really regretting not bringing my lightweight bivvy bag for my sleeping bag. So let's have a look at this waterproof sleeping bag, just how waterproof it is. It uses event fabric for its shell. So here we go. As you can see, it just beads off. So these bags are designed to be used outside, inside a tarp or under a tarp, and inside a single wall tent like my Lunar Solo, where you will get your down sleeping bag wet if it touches the side, and from condensation if it's a bad night and there's no wind and there's a lot of condensation building up. Here we go again. You can see beading off. It's also got a really chunky waterproof zip. So here are the temperature ratings for the Torpedo 350. See, it's got a comfort of 3 degrees, a comfort limit of -2, and it will keep you alive at -15. It's got the best Polish goose down, nearly 1,000 fill power on that. The US method about 900 something, the EU method or the European method. So I'm inclined to believe that rating because it feels a lot more substantial than my current 3-season sleeping bag, which is the Rab Neutrino 200, I think. So this one has a 6.5 comfort, 1.5 limit, and it'll keep you alive at -13, and I can verify that that is pretty close. I haven't got to -13, but a couple of years ago on the West Highland Way I camped at, if you know the West Highland Way, high up at the ski, is it the not Glencoe? Yeah, I think it's called the Glencoe Ski Resort. And that's quite high up, and at night, it was in April, and it got to about -5 or 6 that night up there, and this bag did really well. But I did have my down suit on as well, which I always carry. So if you've seen any of my kit videos, they're quite a few years old now, but I always carry with me a down trousers, down jacket, and down booties. And I would wear those in camp and when needed in the sleeping bag to beef it up. Rab bag is 560 grams. So this is the lightweight bivvy bag that I would take. I didn't take it coast to coast and I paid for it. But this is another 350 grams. So 600 plus 400, that takes you over a kilogram. The Torpedo comes in at 930 grams all in. So you can see why I went for this. Also, it turns out I've been buying the size of my sleeping bags for the last 25 years wrong. I thought I was a regular, and while I was researching, because there's only a short one left of these bags and there was a good discount on it, over 100 quid. So before I clicked buy, I checked the size of a short, because the sleeping bags come in 3 sizes. I never knew that. Regular one is for people up to 6 foot. Well, I'm a good few inches below 6 foot, so I always wondered why I could never get the hood to fit properly on my sleeping bag. It was always like too big, and I had to pull it down, and there was like bits stuck in the middle anyway. Turns out I needed to buy the short version. This one fits like a glove, and I'm already, just by testing it out inside and doing it up, I can see that it is warmer than the neutrino, which is the regular size. Plus, you know, you're saving a good 80, 90, maybe 100 grams on the difference in size as well. So it's a win-win there. The problem with ultralight stuff, I've not got anything bad to say about this, because it has done me well for 5-6 years, but it's ultralight. So how they get down to that kind of weight, because these two have both got the same amount of down, but the Cruxes are much higher fill power. Well, not much higher, but it's quite about 100 or 200 higher than this one. But to get that weight down, the outer fabric is really thin, and although there's no tears in it, I've noticed in some areas, because remember this is a veteran of the Cape Prath Trail, a couple of West Highland Ways, the Coast to Coast, the Pennine Way, and if you watch my videos, you know, apart from a night or two in a bed and breakfast or a country house hotel, I'm camping, whether it's at official sites or wild camping. You know, it has got a lot of use, so nothing bad to say of it, but I have noticed it's getting a bit ragged in some places, and I have noticed it's starting to lose, from the outside, it's starting to lose a bit of feathers as well. But these are quality sleeping bags. I don't know if I'm going to keep this or sell it on eBay, but again, this one I got at a good discount as well, because these bags are not cheap, but if you want quality, you've got to pay for it, especially in a sleeping bag. I don't care what anyone says. And I've been buying sleeping bags for nearly 30 years now, and when I first started out, I couldn't afford down bags, so it was synthetic. I know some people think you can't use down bags in the UK. Well, I don't agree that you can, but the warmth, I don't know, some people might not agree with me, but the warmth you get out of a down bag, you can't compare it with the warmth you get out of a man-made synthetic bag. It's just different kind of warmth. I don't know if that's just in my head, but it just feels much different, feels much warmer to me, feels natural. Doesn't feel natural in a synthetic bag. Again, that's just my opinion. I don't know if that's true or not, or it's just in my head, but I think that. But the problem is getting it wet. Not the last 2 years I've been using my Lunar Solo, so it has got wet because it's a single wall tent on a couple of occasions. You saw it on my coast to coast videos at the reservoir. I can't remember what it was called, but it did get wet. But before that, I was using my nuclear proof Terra Nova, which is a 2-wall tent. Never had those problems, because even if the sleeping bag touched the fabric of the tent, it's 2 walls, so it wasn't drawing in the water like a single wall tent will just draw the water in. And at night you don't realize it until you wake up in the morning and the bag is completely wetted out like what happened on the coast to coast. So hopefully that problem now has been rectified. Of course, I'm going to be testing this bag out on the Southern Upland Way, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get some rain on that whenever time of year I go, and it will get its test there, and you'll see how it performs. But I'm 99% sure this is going to perform really well, because I bought it from the Ultralight website, Ultralight Gear UK, and I trust their verdicts because I've bought a lot of stuff from them. They test a lot of the stuff out themselves and they give you their verdict. Their verdicts have been spot on, and I've experienced that out in the field, and I know that what they say is correct. They're not just saying things to, just to sell things and all that kind of stuff. So I trust their opinion on these bags, but we will see if I'm correct, to have the faith. Apparently this event fabric, which is like Gore-Tex, it's breathable, but it's more breathable than Gore-Tex supposedly, because it doesn't need to get wet to start working. It works when it's dry as well. So when I'm inside the sleeping bag, it will let out my perspiration, and it will help keep the down from getting wet from my own sweat at night. It also compresses down really well. That's just a mild compression that I've given it in that bag, but it can go a lot smaller than that, and I've upgraded the bag that it's come with a Dyneema bag that's in the post from Wild Sky Gear, top guy on eBay for getting your dry bags and stuff made out of Dyneema. And you can see that's a 1500 milliliter bottle from Nalgene. You can see the size. So I'd just like to say, until the next time, see you out there and on YouTube.